Hi everyone, welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Robyn Zimmerman. Pete Nardi has joined us. He's a general manager of the Hilton Head Public Service District, which when you get your water bill every month, that's where it goes. Water is so critical, not only to drink, but also for our beautiful landscaping and lawns. But we're going to start today talking about a $10 million grant that we have received from the South Carolina Infrastructure Act. So what is that?
Sure. So the American Rescue Plan Act, the monies that came and were earmarked for our state for water, wastewater, stormwater. What the state of South Carolina did is they put it into a program called the South Carolina Infrastructure Investment Program, SCIP for short. And it was a competitive grant program that the General Assembly set up. And they went around to the state, to our local utilities, municipalities. They wanted to see transformative, generational projects. Not really looking just for maintenance projects, but what is something that will be transformative? So Hilton Head PSD, what we went after was a $10 million grant. We received it. That was the maximum amount you could get, by the way.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great thing for the island to bring these federal monies to the island. Takes the burden off of the island ratepayers, the island taxpayers. And what we're doing with it is some pretty neat stuff. It's really two key projects.
Okay.
As you and I have talked about before, we have our reverse osmosis drinking water treatment facility on the north end, Jenkins Island, across from Windmill Harbor.
Right.
So part of what we're going to do with this grant is we're going to build out the full capacity of that plant. Right now, it makes about 4 million gallons a day of treated drinking water. Using this grant money, we're going to take it up to 6 million gallons a day of treated drinking water out of that plant, which is really Hilton Head PSD's average day demand for water. It will cover us a lot throughout the year just out of that plant. The source water for that plant, right, you got to get it from someplace in the first place, is the brackish groundwater.
Okay.
We hit it about 600 feet deep here on the island, limestone aquifer underneath the island, brackish groundwater in there. So we got to build a new well, a fourth well that will feed that plant, and that'll take us to 6 million gallons a day.
So if we're going up from 4 million gallons to 6, what are we doing now? Because we're not at that 6. Are we borrowing? We're getting money.
Well,
we're getting water from other.
Well, sure. You have multiple sources right now. You know, right now we have more than enough water to meet our average day demand as well as our peaks. But this is about resiliency. Right? You don't want to go right to the edge with your water supply. We're also still getting a portion of our water, you and I have talked before, from that fresh part of the aquifer. Needs very little treatment. But that's the portion of the aquifer that is threatened. That's where we've had saltwater intrusion, and we've lost that supply over the years, right? That was the island's traditional source of drinking water, was the fresh part of the aquifer, only about 150 feet deep. Saltwater intrusion into that source has led us to creating so many alternative supplies here, and the big alternative supply for us is that brackish part of the groundwater. Which is deeper,
yes.
The other neat thing we're doing with this grant money, we right now have one of these aquifer storage and recovery wells where we actually store the treated drinking water underground in the brackish aquifer during the winter months of lower demand. Then we withdraw, retreat in the summer when the demand peaks up. Well, we're going to build a second one of those wells. These wells are capable of storing 260 million gallons of water.
Oh my gosh.
An incredible amount of storage that you simply cannot build above ground. If you see like a concrete storage tank for water as you're driving around, that's only holding about 2 million gallons. So we're going to build a second one of these. It's called ASR, Aquifer Storage and Recovery. And we'll actually bracket our service area with those large amounts of supply. So that's huge for us, from things like hurricane recovery, disaster recovery, all that kind of stuff.
Well, so interesting and wonderful grant. I'm so pleased that we've received it, and obviously whoever wrote the grant, you and others, you know, did a great job. We've got just a couple minutes left. I know we want to talk about irrigation, just a couple very quick.
Sure. Well, spring's rolling around, right on us, right? So, you know, 40 to 60% of the demand for drinking water on Hilton Head, it's used for residential landscape irrigation. So we really ask that what you're doing there with your landscaping is, first of all, make sure it's water wise. Don't water the concrete and the asphalt. Right. They don't need any water. Check your sprinkler system. I know you do that, Robyn.
Yes.
Yep. Check your sprinkler system. Make sure that the heads are working. They're not just bubbling onto the driveway. Do that annually so that you're going to have a more efficient bill. You're going to do more efficient water.
Very good. Pete Nardi, who is the general manager of Hilton Head Public Service District. Thank you so much for great information for us. Thanks.
Thanks, Robyn.